back to Single Mom Life. I had done a video at breakfast about a story I saw about John Jones and getting lost in the cave and talking about that claustrophobia ordeal. And it got such an awesome response, I figured I might make another one. So this is going to be true crime dinner time, right? I think it'll work. Like I said, I do this for you all, and when you respond, I respond. So let's do it. So we got some yummy chicken Alfredo here, and I love mine with a lot of black pepper. And we've got another story. I'm not sure if you all like the whisper talk or my regular talk. I'm not going to try to ever talk like super crazy loud. I'll try to keep it on a low tone. But, let's mix this up. So our true crime dinner time tonight is going to be about David Camm. And the reason, if you've never heard of him, I don't know how profile this case got to be, but But I live in Kentucky, and this was in Indiana. So it was literally right across the Ohio River from us. Next state over. Do you love fettuccine as much as I do? Chicken fettuccine. Chicken, of course. Told you. So David Camm was a former trooper of the Indiana State Police, and he spent 13 years in prison after being wrongfully convicted of murders. It was his wife and his son and his daughter. His son was 7 and his daughter was 5. And David Camm's story was, I believe it's claimed he was at a church basketball game and came home and found his wife shot in the garage. And his kids were in the back seat shot too. This big piece of chicken. They say that he touched the glass on the vehicle, the window on the vehicle, and made a palm print, and was trying to get his son out because he thought he was still alive, said son's alive in him, so he tried to get him out and do CPR. And at that time, he got blood on his shirt from his daughter bleeding. He was tried several times for this. They called in like a blood spatter expert or blood pattern expert, and come to find out that guy was not an expert. And then eventually, after all this going on, after time this going on, this name came up. It was Charles Bonnet, and he was named at being at the crime scene. There was a shirt found at the crime scene that had a name wrote on the inside. The back neck inside of the shirt, and that name was Backbone. Come to find out later on, Charles Bonnet's nickname in, I believe, his jail or prison was Backbone. And, David Camm spent time in prison for this. He was wrongfully convicted. He spent 13 years in prison for this. even without major evidence against him, apparently. They ended up finding out that Bonet's previous crimes were, had the same, like, what do you call that word? Same MO? Is it MO? I don't think it's MO. Same type, pattern. The same type things. His previous crimes, he had a thing for, apparently, stealing women's shoes. And, Cam's wife, her shoes were took off and left on the hood of her vehicle, I believe they said. And then the bottoms of her feet had abrasions and marks. So that was a striking similarity. And then there was the sweatshirt, or the shirt that had his nickname on it, on the inside. And then also his DNA was found on her shirt, on her under things, and under a broken fingernail of hers. So he, after David Camm went through all this time being in prison, they finally got Charles Bonet, and he was convicted to prison, sentenced to prison, for 225 years for the murders. This went on forever. So many years. It started in, they were murdered September 28th of 2000, and it wasn't over till many, many years later. You know, I just felt how horrified that must have been. Originally, everyone was made to believe it was David Camm. I mean, it was just like, it was like all signs pointing to him being a liar, and, that there was no way that, anybody else could have done it. It had to have been him. He snuck away and went to the house, shot his wife, shot his kids. And that was the way it went. That's how, what everybody was made to believe. But that was not what it was. Even me, myself, I can remember thinking, hey, this guy's guilty. But, in cases like that, well, I don't say all cases, but that case, the truth came out, and it was somebody totally different. I think to myself, if somebody was to come after my kids or try to hurt them, they better hope that the first bullet stops me. They better put it where it counts, because I would do anything in my power to save my kids. I put them ahead of myself. I'm sure she did too. If you've never been in a situation where you were on the other end of a gun, it's good for you. It's a bad place to be. I've been there. My ex-husband had had put a gun to my head at the end of our marriage and was going to shoot me. And that was probably the most terrified I'd ever been. But I had one thought in my head. Was to get my kids out of harm's way. And once I had a couple of seconds to process the situation and what was going on, I was able to look at that food all over me. That's embarrassing. Food video. I was able to get out of where my ex-husband had the gun to my head and get to my kids. Luckily no shots were fired, but my ex-husband didn't even know how to use a gun. Surprised he didn't mess up and shoot me, because he kept loading and reloading unloading and reloading the gun, putting the clip in and out, and pulling it back. I don't know a lot about guns myself, but I knew the gun was loaded. We are out of noodles, people. Lots of chicken. You know I love chicken. Start clucking one of these days. We'll know why. You know what? I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll go get me some more noodles to go with my chicken. And I hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you had a little true crime dinner time with me. Well, let's do it again. I don't want to... Pepper made my nose run. I don't want to focus on too many high profile cases, because those have already been, super covered. Maybe try to keep it the less profile cases. Stuff that's not been so talked about. Give you all some new information. Something new to chew on, right? Let's do it. Okay. Spike. New cup. Alright, thanks for joining me. Subscribe. Bye, guys.